An old gardener showed me a way to protect cherries from birds. They avoid his fruit trees widely. If you have a problem with birds eating the fruits from your garden, watch until the end. This video will solve the problem once and for all. All you need is an old videotape. Inside, there's a black tape. Take it out from the videotape and unwind it. Cut it into 3 1-meter pieces. Then, tie them to the fruit trees and throw the other end to the top of the tree so that it hangs down the entire height of the tree. The tape is so light that the wind moves it even on calm days. The constant movement scares the birds away. This way, they don't sit on the branches and don't eat the cherries. It's surprising that such a simple method is so effective. Try it on your trees. Since I started using this trick, no birds have eaten my cherries. Unfortunately, this method doesn't work on my dog. Put in bags, hang in the garden, and spray. This tried-and-true trick works not only on aphids and spider mites, but also protects your plants from many pests. When spring comes, all the plants in the garden come to life. If you don't provide them with protection against pests, you'll soon have to fight them. Aphids on roses, fruit trees, and other plants are a nuisance for every gardener. But you can provide them with protection in spring. All it takes is an ecological trick, safe for plants. Additionally, it protects plants even when you're not in the garden or on the plot for several days. Most methods for dealing with aphids require spraying. They need to be repeated, especially after rain, because the spray stops working. But this method won't stop working even after rain. On the contrary, rain works in its favor. It's environmentally friendly. What's so great about it? Soap. Every gardener knows its effectiveness in fighting pests, but few use it in this way. Crush soap into pieces. Prepare scraps of material from an old sheet or cloth. Pack the soap pieces in them. Tie up such bundles on trees and shrubs where you usually fight aphids every year and spray. Wet soap smells more intense. It will repel pests until the rain completely dissolves it.
These are effective tricks used by gardeners against aphids. These natural methods will protect your plants from this pest. Dealing with these parasites in the garden is not an easy task. If you don't want to use strong chemical treatments, these methods will certainly come in handy. Aphids are one of the largest and most diverse groups of insects that pose a threat to our plants. These bugs can be found on various plants, both in ornamental gardens and in vegetable and fruit gardens, as well as on balcony and indoor flowers. They can devastate a garden, and it takes them a surprisingly short amount of time to spread to neighboring plants. Gardeners tie yellow ribbons on plants. Once you know the reason, you will start doing it yourself. It turns out that a simple ribbon can replace expensive and chemical sprays. Cut a yellow ribbon into 10-centimeter pieces. Attention, it is very important for the ribbon to have an intense yellow color. Then, tie it with a knot on the plants that have been attacked by aphids. Tie it at the top of the stem. The yellow color is meant to attract ladybugs, which are natural enemies of aphids. One ladybug can eat up to 50 aphids in a day. The yellow ribbons attract them to the plants that have been attacked by pests. It is important to remember not to use chemical sprays during this time, as they can harm and deter ladybugs. Another trick is a natural spray. Simply mix 2 inexpensive ingredients with water to create a repellent mixture. Its preparation takes a few seconds, and it works just as effectively as store-bought sprays for aphids. Pour warm water into a spray bottle. Then, add a teaspoon of baking soda. Add a little sunflower oil or dishwashing liquid. Mix everything together, and it's ready. This natural spray should be applied to plants every 3 days. Thoroughly cover the stems and leaves with it. This mixture effectively deters aphids from settling on the plant. It's important to remember that the proportions are crucial. If we add too much baking soda, we can damage the plants and achieve the opposite effect. The second recipe for a spray is equally effective, and it only requires 1 ingredient. Pour vinegar into a bottle of water in a ratio of 1 to 10. It cannot be used indiscriminately, as it can harm not only the pests, but also the plants. Spray the infected plants with this natural spray. Vinegar works great in direct contact with aphids, so precision is needed. Spray the undersides of the leaves as well, where aphids often feed. Do not use vinegar spray when the sun is shining on the plants, as it can cause them to burn. Also, do not use vinegar spray on young plants, flower buds, or flowers themselves. The third aphid spray is also extremely easy to make. Dilute skim milk with water in a 1-to-1 ratio and immediately spray the pests with it. Milk repels aphids and at the same time attracts beneficial insects that feed on aphids. It also prevents fungal diseases while nourishing the plant. It is a source of calcium and sugar, which are essential for plant growth. The excess milk that flows into the soil will serve as an additional fertilizer. Furthermore, such a milk spray does not harm the plant. It can be used without worry once a week, preferably in the morning, and it is inexpensive to make. What do you think about these methods for aphids? If you know another effective method, be sure to share it in the comments below the video.
If you have snails in your garden, you can get rid of them. Spray this all over the garden, and the snails will disappear. This natural mixture will repel these pests. Additionally, it eliminates aphids, caterpillars, and deters ants. If you have a garden, you are surely familiar with these pests. Snails can destroy crops, as they enjoy cultivated vegetables and fruits. You probably know that you can protect your crops with methods like using ash. Sprinkling ash around plants creates a barrier that stops snails. Another method is using eggshells. A sufficient layer of eggshells spread in the garden will also deter these pests, though you need a lot of them. Remember that coffee grounds can also be used in the garden like ash and eggshells. But today, I will show you a mixture made from them. Add 1 tablespoon of ground coffee or coffee grounds to 300 milliliters of warm water. Caffeine repels snails and other pests. Next, add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Garlic is rich in sulfur and allicin, which snails and many other pests dislike. Finally, add 1 tablespoon of mint, either fresh or dried. The essential oils in mint are excellent for repelling ants and snails. Mix everything and leave it for a few hours. Then strain it through gauze or a coffee filter. Dilute with about 3 liters of water. Use this mixture to spray the borders of the garden, paths, plants, and vegetables. Use it regularly, and you'll see that snails won't be as eager to visit your garden. Place this under the table, and ants will never appear on it again. A simple trick will ensure that no ant will climb onto it. It doesn't matter if you have a table on the balcony, terrace, or in the garden. No ant will touch anything on your table anymore, not even their favorite sugar. No picnic, barbecue, or party will be spoiled by the sight of ants eating the treats meant for guests. My aunt showed me this trick, and I couldn't believe how simple it is. Place small bowls under the table legs. Instead of bowls, you can use jar lids. Place them precisely under the table legs. They will act as an impassable barrier for ants. All you need to do is pour water into them. Ants avoid water. This will block their path to the table. They won't be able to reach the tabletop. You can even keep sugar on it without worrying about finding ants in it. This simple water trick will protect you from these insects in the garden.